Hello friends, Sarah Sunstone here, and welcome back to Thinking Out Loud. Today, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the latest edition of the Witchbrook Oracle. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So here we have issue number 4, published on the 1st of summer and titled A Sure Thing, Welcome to the Boardwalk. I will have this edition of the Oracle linked in the description if you want to follow along with me. Now, we do know that Mossport is a seaside town, so it's really exciting to learn more about the Boardwalk specifically. This edition of the Oracle features a brand new in-game still, and this is actually of Mossport's art shop, which we'll learn more about soon. I did want to point out a couple of things in this photo. First of all, there is actually a dog here. I believe this is the first dog we're actually seeing in the game, so that's awesome. I also really love the detail of this character painting a mural over here and the spilled paint. There's also 2 little kiosks out front. Now, one of these, I believe, is the Snippy Snaps vending machine. I don't know exactly which one it is. I could see an argument for it being either, but it does kind of seem like we might actually be able to interact with these. And if that is the case, I'm curious to know what other kinds of vending machines there could be around the town and what sort of goods we could get from them. I love a vending machine. There's something about a vending machine that just seems so fun to me. So to be able to access those in the game too is really exciting. So let's dive into the written contents of this oracle. You've heard it here first. Summer's officially here. Tourists are stepping off the ferry with 3 cameras, no sunscreen, and full confidence that they don't need a map. And Witchbrook students are hosting their families who came for just a peek but now on a full magical itinerary. So we did touch on this in the last oracle, but it does seem like there will be a tourist season in Mossport, and perhaps during that time the town will actually be a little bit more populated with NPCs. In the recent developer update, there was some footage shared demonstrating how the different NPCs' routines are structured, and some of those characters were organized by coming off the ferry boat. So this also supports that there will be a ferry boat bringing tourists that will come and go throughout the busy seasons. The oracle goes on to read, I see the same repeating campus tours, courtyard, dining hall, awkward wave at Professor Bardot, then panic when they realize that's all they planned. Where do you take guests when you're out of ideas and still need to impress? We have actually seen the courtyard in the trailer, I believe. I don't know if we've seen a dining hall though, but of course that makes sense that there would be one at the school. Mind you, there will also be tons of cute little areas to go get food around the town as well. Now this next section actually kind of describes how we get to the boardwalk from the school. They say to follow the sound of waves and watch the pavement. When fish start appearing in the stonework, you found it. Mossport's Boardwalk, which you can actually see in the world. There are fish designs in the stone pavement, and these I guess indicate that, you're arriving at the boardwalk, which I just love that attention to detail. Apparently, the shops at the boardwalk are packed with fun novelty souvenirs. The writer says they've submitted 3 pitches for a glow-in-the-dark crab magnet. No word yet, but I believe in the cause. They say that there's also fresh fish and chips, but keep your eyes on your food unless you're willing to share with a seagull. And we have seen the fish and chip spot in the trailer. They also have another photo of it over here. So it does seem like this is a business that we'll be able to enter. I do wonder if we'll be able to go into these fun souvenir shops, and if so, can we pick up some cute little outfits and accessories, or is it just for show? Now it looks like at the far end of the boardwalk, perched on a weathered pier, is Mossport's art shop called the Briny Brush. So I believe that is this shop right here. You can see some easels set up inside the building. There's also a little cat peeking out here, I just noticed, but there's like a wooden doll here as well. It looks like there's some art supplies and paintings hung up on the walls. I mean, there's also an art palette right at the front here, so all signs point to this being the Briny Brush. Now, very interestingly, the Briny Brush has some history. So it was actually once a fishing shack, and it's described as airy, sunlit, and stocked with supplies for making a masterpiece. The owner's name is Saul, who is a retired fisherman who talks in full sea shanty and believes every blank surface deserves a nautical pun. So that's kind of some fun lore there about the Briny Brush. And it seems like one of the NPCs, named Cormac, spends a lot of time here, who is one of the best artists that Eli, the writer of the Oracle, knows. So far, we've only formally been introduced to Hannah, or Hannah, as the first dateable character, and Hannah was actually initially somewhat introduced in an edition of the Oracle, so maybe we can expect to actually formally meet Cormac soon. We have a little exchange here between the writer and possibly Cormac, who says it's not a novelty shop when Eli asks about glitter pens. He follows up by saying it's a real gallery, a space for meaningful work, not caricatures of your uncle riding a dolphin. Sounds like an interesting character himself. Eli kind of follows up by saying that was the full quote, but I like to think he meant it in a positive way. Trust me, the shop is worth the trip. I'm so curious to know what we can do at the art shop. Is it, again, just there for looks? Can we make purchases? If so, what would we possibly be buying that we could use in our gameplay? Can we actually do any art? Can we maybe get ingredients for crafting? I think that could make sense because it seems like there's lots of crafts we can make and sell at the markets. So maybe we can get some supplies there specifically for that purpose. Now, the main part of this edition of the Oracle concludes by saying, listen, tourist season's here, but witches need a break too. Summer's a season for students who need fresh air, for visiting parents who want to know the worlds their witch is living in, and for anyone who's forgotten that there's more to life than potion stains and library sessions. So grab an ice cream, find some spaces in the sun, and seize the day. You've earned it. And this definitely makes me wonder if classes will be out of session during the summer and we have more time as a student to explore the town specifically, or if there's the option to take classes all throughout the year. It does seem like we're going to have those 4 seasons based on how they're categorizing the Oracle editions. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that, but it's just something to think about that the schedules of both our character and the NPCs will likely differ from season to season. Now over here on the right hand side, we have a column titled Focusing on the Bright Side. So this is written by Amateur Snapper, who writes that this summer they finally decided to take the plunge and invest in a proper camera. They even picked up some fancy vintage worm film from the Snippy Snaps vending machine. So there's that confirmation of Snippy Snaps being probably one of these vending machines. This writer has one mission in mind, which is to immortalize every single ice cream that they eat on light-sensitive emulsion, which is a very unique project here that they're taking on. They go on to say, or at least 12 of them, film is expensive and I can only afford this one roll. But here's the thing, I've loaded the camera and lined up the perfect composition, but when I look through the viewfinder, I can't see a thing. What am I doing wrong? Is the camera broken? Did I load the film upside down? Advice needed. Now this whole column makes me wonder if they have plans for any sort of photo mode in the game. They mentioned the vintage warm film. I wonder if that's like a filter we could apply over top of our photo mode. This is clearly all speculation, but I think the world is so beautiful in Witchbrook. I would love for there to be some sort of built-in feature for us to take photos outside of screenshots that remove all the user interface and maybe even allow us to have some control over zooming in and out. And then it really does make me wonder if the photo mode might go an extra step here with the talk of these vending machines. I mean, this could just be for fun, this could just be for lore, but I do wonder if there's any utility here. Like maybe we can collect different filters for our photos by purchasing them from this little vending machine, for example. It's totally just an idea, but you never know. By the way, if you love following along with the Witchbrook Oracle, please make sure to subscribe to the channel with your notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the little details. Plus, if you appreciate these videos, please let me know by shining the lovely like button and sharing your highlights and thoughts with me down in the comments. There's also another column here titled Misconnections, which is actually quite sweet. So it reads, "To the witch in yellow sandals who smiled at me, I saw you from the chippy window halfway through my cod. I wanted to say something, but 12 screaming gulls blocked the door, eyes on my lunch. I knew I'd lose the fish and whatever chance I had with you. If you're reading this, you're radiant, and next time, I'll risk it." So this is so cute and so charming and also pretty funny. You can see the fish and chips shop up here and a ton of seagulls just perched outside waiting for some scraps. So it does seem like there's going to be a good amount of wildlife in Witchbrook, and I do wonder how dynamic it will be. Like, are we going to actually see this in the game? All these seagulls just waiting around the fish and chips shop on those warm summer days? I don't know, but this is really cute. And again, I just love how all of these bits and pieces from the oracles really paint a picture of what it means to be a part of the world of Witchbrook. Now, at the bottom here, we have an advert for Dough Bros, which we've seen on numerous occasions now at this point. They have both an actual brick and mortar shop, and then they have a sort of like food truck that seems to show up at events and festivals, for example. So it's cute to see their branding here too. Fresh donuts served daily, and they're located at 10 Market Row. Then we have our standard 3 little stories here. So the first one is Sand in the Ritual Circle. Again, one student's tireless quest to keep academic spaces clean. We've definitely seen the Ritual Circle in the classroom setting, and I think it's so funny to think about students like trekking sand in there, and one poor student that's just like so put off by it. The next one is titled Heat Stroke or Possession, a quiz. Find out if you're cursed or just dehydrated. Now let's hope it's the latter, and here's a hydration reminder for everyone. And the final one is titled Broom Parking Drama Explained, which is really interesting because like if this is the tea at Witchbrook, if this is the drama, broom parking, listen, I'm here for it. The rivalries, the passive-aggressive signs, and the one spot that's definitely haunted. We've seen tons of broom parking spaces, and to know that there's drama and rivalries and all this like lore behind the broom parking is so funny to me. I kind of love it. But I guess be careful where you park your broom. And then at the bottom here, they tease the next issue. Fun in the Sun at Mossport's Beach. It's some very serious investigative journalism. So I hope that means in the next edition of the Oracle, we'll actually get to see the beach and see, you know, what it has to offer. Are all the shops located on the boardwalk, or are there some little like kiosks down on the beach as well? Can we tread in the water? Can we swim? Can we get swimsuits? Can we sit? Can we lounge? Can we collect seashells? What's the magical twist on the beach? Is there a magical twist on the beach? Are we gonna see the ferry boat? I have so many questions, clearly. I'll take anything I can get. I'm so excited for this game. So that is the content of the Oracle, but I'm sure you're all wondering, are there any secrets in this one? Is there anything suspicious? My strategy when combing through these is looking for anything that seems out of place to me from a writing perspective or from a formatting perspective. So here you can actually see there's way too many spaces on either side of this word repeating. And then here, again, too many spaces. Sounds. I tried to see if there was any other spots in here with that sort of formatting. There's not. So this is definitely something suspicious. I spent a while thinking about what repeating sounds could mean. At first I thought maybe it's just basically trying to spook us with all of the other little bits and pieces we found throughout the oracles, but I was pretty determined to see if there was any kind of like word that we could put in the hyperlink like we've been doing with the past editions. Repeating sounds did not work, repeating did not work, sounds did not work. I tried lots of variations, but then I had this kind of like aha moment of what is a repeating sound? And a little shout out to my community because we were just talking about echoes a little bit on our last stream. So it was top of the mind. So I tried echo in the URL, and sure enough, here we go. This message reads, "You're still here, aren't you? Thank you. I'm not sure where I am, but I feel you. I haven't spoken to anyone in I don't know how long. I won't hurt you either. I just need to know you're real." So I just got chills once again. I have no idea what's going on here. Would love to hear your thoughts on this down in the comments. And let me know if there's actually anything else that you found hidden in this edition. This is all I could find so far, and I wanted to get the video out for you guys. So yeah, let me know if you found any other spooky clues or anything. I always love reading through the comments of these videos. But regardless of the chilling message, I mean, they're not gonna hurt us, so that's good news. This was yet another fantastic issue of the Witchbrook Oracle, and I can't wait to see what comes next. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.